Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. I'm Joe Wright, and I'm here with the Monday Night Mayhem series from Extreme Forces. You got the street stocks from Concord, presented to you by Intensity Broadcasting, but also sponsored by Falcon Graphics. D. Wright, we got a good little battle in store for us here tonight. I know you're a little bit busy, a little caught up watching the Seahawks win right now over the Saints, but here in iRacing, we're at Concord Speedway. It's like a mini Pocono, Dave, and man, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, some exciting action. 75 laps. As always, one fast repair, 65% of fuel. We'll see how these guys do in the street stocks. I believe this is the second or third time around with these cars. So we tend to see a little bit different of competitors up front as we switch cars through this series. So it's been very interesting so far.
Yeah, and thanks again to Falcon Graphics. The winner of tonight's race will receive a free wrap from Falcon Graphics. So I'm assuming that's in-race free wrap. Maybe it's a real-life free wrap, but I think it's an iRacing free wrap. So check them out, Falcon Graphics. All right, moving on. We got some a little bit of news to talk about here with this series. We got the points up to date, so we can check those out real quick. As you can see there, Brandon Richardson on top of the board. Dylan Dunford right behind him in second. Tied, actually. So tied for first with 206 points. Jackson Brook and Dean Qualley in the third spot there with 204. Lee Krause is fourth. Jacob Bowen fifth. And Dave Atley, I mean, at least not doing bad. Riding back there in that ninth, our own friend there from Intensity Broadcasting. So pretty good job to him. As we actually switch over now and watch him turn some practice laps here. Maybe we'll go on board and we'll show you a little bit about this layout while we do that. It's a little bit wonky in relation to the rest of the tracks, Dave.
Yeah, it's definitely different. We raced here last year in the ARCA cars, I believe. So it was definitely a bit of a challenge. If I remember, coming through the dog leg there, it can get a little loose. If it's not the dog leg, it's the final set of corners, I believe.
And on your screen there, you can kind of see it. That back stretch has its own little dog leg kind of action. We're going to be working 3 separate corners tonight. The toughest one, though, Dave, is that long last corner. I ran a couple of practice laps. I've been watching these guys crash coming out of 4. I guess we'll call it 4, but the last turn and getting into the wall there.
Yeah, that's the corner that I was talking about before. It wasn't the dog leg. The dog leg's actually pretty easy here, in a good passing zone, depending on how you come out of 2. So, yeah, the last corner is very, very tricky, and you'll see some guys, if they try to keep it down on the bottom, lose out a little bit and get loose coming off. So we'll see how that develops throughout the race.
And Atley, yeah, man, he's actually the first guy on the grid here that's going to turn a qualifying lap, so we'll stay with him as he does that. I don't know about that paint job, though, D-Right?
Yeah, they did not have a good week. Got kind of exposed a bit by Burrow and the boys, but they'll bounce back. LJ is a competitor, so.
Atley going to turn the first lap of the qualifying with an 18:11. That's slow. Dylan Dunford to the top of the board, though, and with a 17:46. We'll see if that holds up. Let's look at Daniel Stagner in the Jack machine. See what he can do. He comes to his first lap time. I guess that's his first out lap, or he got the wall. As it lap did not record. Tyler Aspinall now to the top of the board with a 17:44.
And Tyler was the fastest in practice today as well. 17:341 he ran in practice.
Stagner runs a 9.6. That'll put him P5 just behind Lee Krause, who's currently position 4. Still to go, we have Brady Floyd, Rowdy, Tony Richardson, Brandon Richardson, Eddie Morris, and Dean Qualley. Dean Qualley will be in the ride tonight. And see Dean Qualley here on pit road as he gets set to maybe turn a Q lap. And he does. He's going to roll off in the 17 Monster Machine. See what Dean can do. On his first time lapped into one, he goes. Looking pretty good through there. Nice wide berth into the last turn of the track. Or, I'm sorry, into the dogleg and then into the last turn of the track. And he'll come through on his first time lap a 17.62. Let's see what he can do here on this second lap. He gets off the turn pretty well. We'll see if that improves. Dean Qualley, not faster on his second lap. He'll stay P4. Brandon Richardson now on the track. First lap puts him P5 just behind Dean. Brandon into the final corner here. Let's see if he can improve this time off. And he does not. Looks like first laps are the fastest here at Concord Speedway. Still at Brady Floyd, Tony Richardson, and Eddie Morris have not turned a lap. We'll see if any of them do that.
Yeah, about 1 minute left in the session, Joe. So we'll see if any of them hit the asphalt to turn a Q lap. Kind of a smaller field tonight. Looks like we have roughly 12 competitors out there. So starting from the back, especially on this short of a track, is not that big of a deficit. So
yeah, I don't think those guys are much worried about it, considering it seems like it's going to be pretty easy going here for most of them. And while they grid, check this out. Pretty cool stuff there from Kai Schappert, one of the graphic design guys. Good job on the video for Extreme Forces Racing League. And that was a little intro for all the leagues here under Extreme Forces. We even saw some next-gen cars in there, D, right?
oh yeah, we have rumored that there is a next gen league coming under Extreme Forces, so that should be exciting.
All right, on the grid, we're going to talk about him a lot tonight. Tyler Aspinall, he's going to be your pole sitter for the race in that Pit Viper green machine number 45. Outside of him, Dylan Dunford, no slouch of his own. He'll be there as well. We'll talk about him most of the night as well, I bet. And then starting third will be Austin Green with Dean Qualley outside of him.
In the fifth spot, it's Brandon Richardson in the 29 machine. Outside of him will be Lee Krause in the 99 car. Daniel Stagner in that Jack number 2 machine goes off 7th, with Atlee Atman Weiss rocking the Ravens paint scheme in the 78 ride.
Rolling off ninth's going to be Mick Olofsson. Outside of him, we'll ride Eddie Morris. And last but certainly not least, Rowdy Tony Richardson, looking like Brady Floyd may have either missed the grid or is going to start from pit, or even worse than that, did not make the show. We'll see what happens here as we move along. as we get set to go green flag racing here at Concord Speedway. I like to call it mini Pocono. It has a Pocono-ish feel with the layout. But it's a short track, a lot of beating and banging, especially in these street stocks, Dave. You might have to even move people out the way to get by them.
Yeah, it should be some exciting racing. Anytime we go to the short tracks with some of these lesser horsepower cars, it's always fun to watch the action.
Tyler Aspinall will lead the field to the green this time by. They'll roll through the last turn, and they will go on the green flag on the initial start of the race. After that, it'll be on the leader. Green flag, and we're racing here at Concord Speedway on Intensity Broadcasting. Tyler Aspinall is going to get himself a good little lead here right off the bit. Dylan Dunford with the higher line. We got one in the wall already, just a scrape. Looks like they all kept it straight through the first two corners and through the third. As they come off the corner, we'll see who gets into that wall, if anybody. We'll hear some scraping, nothing major.
Pretty clean first lap.
Real close battle between the 78 and the 2 right here. 78 to the inside of the 2. He looks like he's going to surrender that to the 2 there. As we start to focus now on third through fifth. Brandon Richardson leading that second group of cars there in that 29 machine. You'll hear some scraping here and there, Dave. These guys are just letting it all hang out. And that Pit Viper machine is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, him and Dylan Dunford both out to a second lead over Brandon Richardson. So looking to separate themselves and make it a two-man race early.
Tire wear going to come into effect, Dave, here as this long run of green flag racing goes on?
It usually does. It usually definitely comes into into it becoming a factor, especially with the cars separated like this. So the chances of us getting some yellow flags outside of self spins, we may not see that. So
we're on board here with Dean Qualley on his nose as he chases down that 15 machine of Austin Green. And I did not mean to rhyme that, but it sounded amazing. As he looks underneath him, Austin taking a little bit higher line through that turn there, and see what happens with Austin here as he's now outside of Dean. He's going to let Dean go. He said, "I'll let you go, Dean. I'll see you in a little bit." The next car in that line is Mick Olofsson as he starts to hunt now Austin Green as well. Austin Green looking a little tight, Dave. Not really slinging that thing sideways like you need to get around here.
yeah, that could be. Ooh, as we see him kind of slid out right there. I was going to say that could be some tire conservation as well.
I think he's listening to the broadcast. He heard me say you got to get sideways. But no, you're right. It could be a strategy for him just to ride that higher line and kind of conserve his machine here. As he slides it real high through the last turn. We've seen a lot of guys get too high there and get into the wall. Atlee Weiss just behind them now. Let's see if he starts to close that gap as well to the 15. The closest battle on track is the leaders right now, D-Right. 0.58 between the two. They haven't really checked out now. Actually, Brandon Richardson and Lee Krause starting to close that gap to these two. As we see Tyler really starting to struggle now, Dave.
Yeah, this is something we've seen out of the 45 in different machines. Tends to run it a little hard early and run the tires off. Still has a couple wins under his belt in different series as well. So not that he's a bad driver by any stretch. But that is something that we have seen in the past. We'll see how he does tonight. on tire conservation, whether it's on the second set or maybe on this set, Joe, and just laying off right now.
Here's Dylan Dunford's on board, though, as he starts to put that pressure on Tyler. We'll see if that makes Tyler drive it a little bit too hard. You see Tyler a little bit sideways off the last turn. Oh, I don't know if there was contact there or not. I said before, and I'll say it again, there might be a little bit of contact. Get people moving out the way for you, especially when you're faster. And there was a prime example of it. Is Tyler's actually going to slide 2 spots there, Dave.
Yeah, and you've seen it all here live on the in-car.
Tyler looking to get it back here as he's looking at Richardson and driving hard up on his backside. And he's going to dive under Brandon Richardson here. Is he going to be able to make it stick off the corner? It's not going to happen. Not able to get back to the gas like he wants to. Oh, that's going to cost him.
Yep. Really just probably better off backing out there. Both those guys racing pretty hard into the corner. As we know, we've seen Tyler get involved in a little loose earlier there, a couple 2 laps ago, so he may be on tilt right there as he starts to race Brandon as well.
Yeah, you know, you're starting to make those tires angry when you get loose like that. It makes it even harder to drive. So let's take a look at that again here. From Richardson into the wall a little bit there. That costs him a little bit of speed on entry. Let's go to the rear chase here, Dave, or the far chase. Because this might be one of those cases of my nose is there, but my nose isn't really there. So right now Richardson's clear, but Tyler's going to drive it in a little bit deeper. And kind of... I mean, he probably could have lifted like Dunford did right there, but it seems like, oh, there's the 99 to help finish it off. So it looks like he did lift a little bit there and was going to let him get it back, but 99 helped finish that one.
Yeah.
That'd be Lee Krause.
Hard racing gone wrong.
Yep. I don't think it was malicious intent, but like you said, might have been a little frustrated with that move Dylan pulled earlier in that run. And it looks like Tyler will get the EOL, and as well as go into pit road here. Austin Green hitting pit road as well. Maybe he was having some tire issues, I'm not sure. As he's definitely getting tires. Tyler did as well. We need to implement the choose rule on these short tracks, too, right?
Yeah, I agree.
What's that Seahawks game looking like?
They tend to be more impactful on the shorter tracks as well. The Seahawks are down 10-7 at the half.
Pace car has pulled off, and its leader is Dylan Dunford. And the green flag is out. Lee Krause in that 99 machine will give chase, but Dean Qualley to the inside now. So he looks underneath Krause for second.
Yeah, that was a really disorganized restart there.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. Maybe they shortened it? I don't know.
Possibly, or just a lot of cars in pit road.
Ooh, I'm hearing some wrecking big time. But we're still green. Maybe people are just slapping the wall. As now Dean Qualley in the second well, as McOlofson a little door to the 99. He's going to get into the outside wall. He's going to keep it straight. Atlee Weiss now looking for fourth. Lee just getting railroaded right now. Lee doesn't look like he liked that too much, that door from the 77 machine. Oh, we got one around.
Caution is out.
On the front stretch. That was huge. All right. So this is at the back of the field. Go ahead and watch what happens here with the 51 machine. Oh. He pushed hard up the track there, D, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he blew right front or what happened there. It might be windy in Concord. He might have got that KB treatment from yesterday.
Or just a misjudgment. Maybe he's trying to get behind. I mean, I could see here from the in car where he could be trying to get in behind Tyler there.
Yeah, there's nothing malicious there. He's just, that's a line that he could not hold going down low.
Yep.
You can see the car slip.
But he's trying to get it straightened out here on the front stretch. No caution, no caution, no caution. And then, oh, he hits the leader, D-Right. He hit Dylan Dunford. Dylan nowhere to go here as he sees the car on the wall. The caution was not out. We're going to see him back into the leader.
Oh.
And then Dean Qualley into the inside wall. And second and third and fourth, and fifth and sixth are going to slide by on that outside as now the 51 holds the brake. Wow, interesting.
Yeah. Tough to do that without a spotter, Joe.
Yeah, without the caution coming out way before that. That was a failure on iRacing's part, in my opinion. A car stopped on the track should bring out a caution, no matter what. Our new leader, Dave. Maybe not. I don't know what's going on here. Atlee's got to get his lap back. There we go. That's what was happening here. Mick Olofsson, your new leader. Eddie Morris. Where did he come from?
He might have just been hanging around at the back.
He's been known to do that. Pace car pulls off. That pace car sounded mean. Eddie Morris outside of Mick Olofsson. Watch out for that number 2, Daniel Stagner. He's there too. And also the 45 of Tyler Aspinall, your pole sitter, back in the mix here at the front.
Oh, jack car into the wall a little bit there.
I keep hearing it, and it sounds way worse than it is, too. Now Eddie's starting to put a little bit of pressure on Mick, but he's also got pressure from behind from that 45 machine of Tyler Aspinall. We'll see what Tyler does here. He's already got one EOL. Don't need another one. As Eddie looks underneath Mick here through the short chute. Tyler to the outside, Eddie to the inside. He's underneath Mick. Eddie backs out of it. Tyler high now.
Yeah, and as that was going on, Brandon
got
by.
Tyler Aspinall hard into the wall, Dave. That's going to get Eddie back to the second position as Eddie now sets his sight again on Mick. As they race behind him for second. Dean Qualley, Austin Green, and the 2 machine of Daniel Stagner all together as well.
And Lee Krause setting his eyes on Tyler for that 4th position.
Let's go on board with Eddie as he starts to chase down this leader again. We'll see if he's a little bit more aggressive this time. Oh, low it. He's got pressure from behind still.
He got tapped there.
He was down on the apron too. I don't know if that cost him to be a little loose there or not, but...
No, 29 got in the back of him.
They're really getting loose.
The racing has definitely picked up, Joe.
You can see Eddie really steering to the right a lot here, Dave. Later in these runs on these tires, so... He's way down low coming out of turn 3.
Lee Krause looking to make the move on Brandon, and he does. for that third spot. Very clean pass, and Brandon may have some damage from getting into the wall a lap ago, because Tyler is now all over him as well.
Eddie really working that wheel on that inside line. He's really trying to find that space and a run off the corner here, as Mick really rode that thing high and had to get out of the throttle there. Eddie all over the back bumper of the 77. He's going to have a little bit there. Oh, a little block gone wrong there.
Yeah, he also got a little loose coming out, so I'm sure the 8 car's not happy with that.
Lee Krause to the outside now. Lee's going to take the lead, Dave, right? He's going to be the first to the line there, as he's our new leader.
Yeah, and as I was saying there, for the last few laps, he was making his way up through the field. He had passed Tyler, he had passed Brandon, got past Mick right there, made way with Eddie after he had gotten bumped into the bottom wall. So Lee is definitely the man on the move right now.
I think the fastest way around here is to get a little scrape to that wall on your way, kind of flatten out that side, get a little aerodynamic advantage.
I'm not sure that that is correct, Joe.
I'll tell you what, watch out for Dean Qualley here, D, right? He's now up to third, and he is on a rail. He is the fastest car last time by.
2.5 back from Lee.
Mm-hmm. As we work lap 45, only 30 more to go, and Dean Qualley, now under the 29 machine, he clears into second with ease, Dave. He's going to set sail now toward Lee, as he's a second back right now. We'll watch that ticker here. He really closed the gap by a 1/10.5 on the first lap that he was free and clear. Richardson into the wall. That's going to give a door to Tyler Aspinall to slide.
Yeah, and that took everything Tyler had to stay off the back of him after he got in the wall there. He almost turned him again.
So Dean gained about a 1/10, but hasn't gained any more. He's still hiding there at the 0.85 back. As he gains another 1/10 through the middle of that corner. Lee's starting to push a little bit, Dave, through turn 3. And you can really mess that last corner up if you dive in too early and try to get back to the gas too early. You'll really push hard toward the wall coming off the corner. As you saw, that's where Eddie was making up a lot of time on the leader when he was in that position because of the way he was taking that corner. Let's watch now Dean Qualley as he closes that gap to under half a second now. And you see it just rolling that bottom just a little bit longer than you want to here at Concord will really get you some speed.
And some of these guys in the field really hoping for a yellow flag here to get a change of these tires. Some guys got some damage that they'd like to take their fast repair for to get back in this race. So we'll see how the last 25 laps shape up here, Joe.
Speaking of damage, Dean Qualley getting a little rubbing on the wall. I really think that's how they get fast, Dave. Just flatten out that right side. Uh-oh. Man, I really love the racing here at Concord. As we see Dean Qualley close the gap through turn 3. He's faster in 3, a little bit slower in 1. But he really closes the distance here through the last turn. That time, not so much. Maybe Lee watching the mirror, starting to figure that out a little bit. Oh, big gain. Real sideways for Dean, though. As he gathers it up, but Lee into the outside wall. Fast for the lead here coming from Dean Qualley. Dean Qualley's going to clear. Not quite, but he's close. Into 1, he'll clear. And our new leader, Dean Qualley.
He called it about 10 laps ago, Joe, to watch out for him, and here he is.
You can really start to see that marble build up on the corners too, Dave. If you get into that, it's just going to go straight. You're not going to be able to turn the wheel. It's going to like rolling on a bunch of marbles and just go right up to the wall. So if you get out of the groove, if you're any of these guys and get out of the groove, you're in trouble. A pretty decent race here for that third and fourth spot, though. Richardson and Tyler Aspinall going at it now. As Dean Qualley has opened up to over a half a second lead over Lee Krause. Is Richardson loose off the corner. They're 3 wide down the front stretch. Who's going to back out first? Not Richardson, not Green. They make it happen, though. Dylan Dunford right there as well. That's a guy who wants to see a caution. And this is where the racing is on track, I'll tell you that. Dunford to the inside now, Richardson. So is Atman. Atman clear into one. Dunford really starting to step out now from those guys, as well as Tyler Aspinall in the third spot. All right, we got another race for the lead, Dave. Lap traffic causing a little havoc. As we see Dean now getting chased by Lee Krause. We'll go on board with...
Go ahead.
I was going to say we'll go on board with Krause here.
I was going to say he's not going to go away quietly either, Joe.
And Dean just trying to navigate this lap traffic, and it's tough here to find a racing line because there's really only one or two grooves. One groove, but like two places you can really pass and not feel loose going into the next corner. So interesting events there as they caught lap traffic. But now you see Dean, maybe he'll step it out again now that he's clear of most of the lap traffic in front of him. Also, Lee learning the line there off of 3. You saw him looking a little lower as he rolled through 3 there. Maybe there's a little bit of advantage to be in that second place car, a little draft, eh?
Yeah.
The A was for the Calgary Canadians, if you're watching.
I'm sure there's a few watching. 10 laps to go, Joe. It looks to be a two-man race, at least for the finish, if we stay green. Obviously, a yellow here changes everything, but Dean and Lee are 6 seconds out from third place. So,
yep, Dean Qualley definitely putting on a show here and a clinic as he starts to drive away a little bit from Lee Krause, now up to over half a second. The race on track right now, though, Dunford and Green, as they've cleared Tyler Aspinall. This is a race for third, Dave. Dunford into P3. And he's a long ways back. He's 6 seconds back from Lee Krause. So without a caution, he's going to likely finish that in that third spot. Austin Green all over the back bumper of Dylan Dunford as they race hard down the front stretch. Oh, I talked about the marbles, and you see the 77 of Mick all up in the wall. He's still in the marbles up there. Dean Qualley over a second lead over Lee Krause, that second place guy. That's why we're watching this third place battle here between Austin Green and Dylan Dunford. Dylan with a little blink there here at iRacing. That means that the server lost track of you for a second. 5 laps to go. 5 more times around Concord, Mini Pocono, and we'll have a race winner. Still nothing going from Austin Green there. Brandon Richardson racing Tyler Aspinall for the 5th spot. A top 5 would be nice for Richardson after certain issues there early on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, Atlee is there as well. He'd love to get into the top 5.
3 laps to go. Make that 2 as Dean Qualley crosses the line 2 more times around. All Dean's got to do is keep her straight. And the white flag is in the air. Eddie Morris in the wall in front of Dean here. He's going to stay high for the leader. And one more turn. And congratulations, Dean Qualley, getting it done here at Concord. All the way from the back. Lee Krause is going to come home second. Third is going to find Dylan Dunford. Fourth will be Austin Green. Tyler Aspinall finishing 5th. Brandon Richardson 6th. And Atlee Etman Weiss up 1 position to 7th. Eddie Morris coming away 8th. Maybe? Yep, as he crosses the line there. Daniel Stagner will come through 9th. Mick Olofsson 10th. And Rowdy Tony Richardson 11th. Brady Floyd not gridding and not getting into the race here today. So he'll get a 12th. But congratulations to Dean Qualley on a wonderful race. I don't know if you're supposed to win in your own series, though, right, Dave?
I think this is the second win.
All right. Well, let's talk to our top 3. Hey, Dylan, it's Joe and Dave in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Man, you had a good race going early on there, and then you actually moved Tyler out of the way. You said, hey, I want this lead. Everything was going good, but then you get caught up in a kind of a wonky situation there with the 51 who wrecked, and there wasn't a caution right away.
Yeah, I wasn't definitely wasn't expecting him to be sitting in the middle of the track, but yeah, I mean it's all good. Brought it back to third. Tyler knows what that's from, so it's all good. It's just short track racing, so.
Yeah, absolutely, Dylan. Like you were saying, pretty unfortunate with that incident because you were up front and then kind of just chasing a yellow to get back with the front runners on a restart potentially to get a chance at the lead. But as you said, it all worked out. You got back to a podium. It's a good points run. It should keep you up in the top of the points. I don't know if you'll still be in first because Dean won and he was in third, but still a good points day overall. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man, just happy to be clicking off some consistent runs here. Just gotta say congrats to Dean. Thank him for putting on this league, and appreciate y'all broadcasting it. And we'll move on to the next one.
Absolutely, go watch that back. It was fun to watch. So I think we were in your in-car when you made him move out the way.
All right.
All right, take care.
All right, man. Yeah.
Where'd Richardson?
All right, and our second place driver, Lee Krause. You got Joe and Dave in the booth. Lee, you were around all night long. You might have hit the wall a couple times, flattened out that right side, made it a little faster.
Well, yeah, you flatten it up and it squares it up so that you got some good airflow there. Yeah, totally.
Lee, he was trying to tell me that all night, and now I understand it must be a Canadian thing. That's how they make the cars go faster. I've never heard of that before.
Actually, it's quite funny. A friend of mine used to crew for Junior Hanley, and so I've learned a lot of different aerodynamic tricks over the years. So, yeah, that's not one of them, though.
Awesome. Well, you came home second. You did lead some laps there, but Dean was able to run you down from almost a second back. Did you think you had anything for him, or he's just better?
He was just better. I'm not gonna lie. I'm Concord is not my favorite. Street stocks are not my favorite, but this was kind of a fun race. Kind of got some arm pump there, and I was, just you're fighting the wheel so much in these cars and trying to be so good on the throttle that Dean just got me on that one. I don't know if I'd be able to do it again that well. Coming through the field there after that caution was a lot of fun, but I don't know if I could do that again.
Well, great job. Awesome job. It was fun to watch. Go back, watch the broadcast, share with your friends and family. Anybody you want to thank, Lee?
Just as per usual, got to thank my wife. Very kind of her to let me have a little bit of time here on a Monday night to come out and have some fun with these guys. And I want to thank my non-existent duct tape sponsor because I wrote this car off about 30 times in practice, so it was great.
Awesome. Good job. Well, good luck next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Well, Dean, it's Joe and Dave in the booth, and you dominated your way through the field. You didn't dominate the race, but you definitely dominated your way through the field. You ran into a little lap traffic there. We saw Lee really close the gap during that, but I think you were just being cautious, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to get into anybody, and I knew Lee was going to be quick, so I just wanted to be clean, get around these guys, and keep going.
Dean, there's a third child in the family photo. When do they get behind the wheel?
Oh, that's my little guy. He's only 4, but you never know. He might be in there sooner than you think.
Well, you did a great job tonight, Dean. A nice sponsor from Falcon Graphics on board. You're going to get the free wrap. Is that what we're doing? We're just giving free wraps to the league owners now? Is that how that works?
Well, sure, I guess.
No, great job. You earned it. You came all the way through the field, found yourself in the front, and were able to take that thing home. Anybody you want to shout out or thank as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody in this league, Falcon Graphics for sure for sponsoring today's race. You guys for broadcasting, and yeah, I hope to grow this league and continue on.
Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. That was a great race in here tonight. Go ahead and watch it back. It was awesome from the booth. So congratulations on your win, and we'll see you again tomorrow night as we go racing some more.
Yep, I think Jackson will probably be racing tomorrow night.
There you go. I'll have to give him a lot of room.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, D. All right, well, that about wraps it up here, D, from Concord Speedway. It was actually a very decent race. I actually enjoyed the racing here, and man, these guys, I actually didn't like it in the car when I was in the car myself. I didn't really care for the track. I don't really care for street stocks as well, but man, I had fun watching it. Those guys put on a show.
Yeah, it definitely was some exciting action. Just a couple of cautions, but some really good hard racing for the most part. As you called out at the beginning, we may see some guys get moved out of the way. We've seen some of that. Seen a lot of tail whips into the wall, straightening out the fenders to get faster. But all in all, an exciting race, and Dean bringing it home with another victory, which should boost him up to the top of the points, but still really competitive at the top of the points with all of our podium drivers tonight.
Absolutely. All said and done in 46 minutes here at Concord Speedway. Once again, I want to thank our sponsor, Falcon Graphics, as they came on board for this race here at the Extreme Forces Racing League Monday Night Mayhem from Concord. It was a great race. If you are just catching this part of it, go back, watch the whole thing. It was awesome. Share it with your friends, family, and like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Also check at Lietman Weiss out on Twitter as he answers all of your questions and shouts people out there on Twitter for Intensity Broadcasts. And I'm Joe Wright. I've been joined tonight by Dave Wright, and as Atman would say,